Good day, everybody. Welcome back. It's DuaneBlue, Coach Blue, talking to you again today. And today's topic is determining wants versus needs. They're often very two words that are used very interchangeably, but have very different meanings and very different definitions in your life. So let's start off with needs. Needs is something that's essential in today's world with the COVID-19 and everything that's going on. We have essential items and non-essential items, or businesses per se, based on what we've experienced over the last few weeks. So a need is something that's essential. Basic needs are food, shelter, clothing. These basic needs. These are what people uh, function on or try to support or have in their daily lives. And without these elements, food, shelter, and clothing, your success in life is very challenging or difficult, or you won't be successful without fulfilling those basic needs. So it's very important. Needs are things that you need in order to survive, in order to succeed. They're just basic elements. They're just like a foundation. If you don't have those things, you don't have that foundation to build your home, your house is unstable. If you don't have these basic needs or these essential needs in today's world, your life will be very unstable. Your success will be very unstructured, and you have a highly likelihood of not succeeding. So, real quickly on the needs in reference to food, having some type of income or growing your own garden, some type of means to provide food for you and your family for sustenance. For our shelter, either being able to build your own edifice or place for you to live, or being able to have some type of income where you can purchase a place that is sufficient and secure and safe for protecting you and your family. And clothing is a little bit different. Clothing varies based off your profession. If you're a profession such as a fireman, a military person, a police officer, you wear a uniform. And you need that type of uniform to perform your duties because that's a necessity in your business. If you're a landscaper, you may have a variety. You may have shorts, you may have some boots, you may have a hoodie, t-shirts, a variety based off the elements of where you work, what part of the country you work in, and the climate that you're working in. Based that you work outdoors all the time, you have a variety of what your uniform would be in order to do your job. If you work in a meat factory, it's probably an apron, some type of uniform that they assign to you there, some PP, some gloves, maybe some goggles, things of that nature that are required or as needs to do your business. So going back to the landscaper, for example, and no offense to anybody who's in landscaping this, because that's not where I'm going with this, but if I'm a landscaper, do I really need $1,000 pair of boots, whatever the top of line leather boot is, to go out and do my job? The answer is no, because I'm going to be in grass or mud or dirt, and I'm just going to destroy this $1,000 boot. So it probably make more sense as a need for a boot to have something that's more like $50, $60, something that's comfortable. It serves the purpose and it allows me to perform my duties. If I'm a nurse or I'm in a profession where I wear a uniform every day, I may not need to go buy a $600 pair of shoes or $1,000 dress or things of that nature uh, based off what I do for a living. Those would be things to reward myself after the fact that my basic needs are covered. But if I don't have the basic items to perform my job, to provide an income or lifestyle for my family, then those are not essential items. I need those essential uniforms, those essential pieces of clothing, those essential articles of everyday wear to support what I do. Anything above that is non essential, and that would be classified as a want. A lot of times we trick ourselves and say, "Well, I want that really bad," and we convince our wants, our needs, and they're really not. So be honest with yourself. Take an assessment of what you do for a living, what your environment is, those basic elements that are essential in your life for your foundation. Make sure they're all met, and make sure you pick choices that meet those respectively where they're at. Be honest with yourself. So um, those are needs. Next, we want to talk about wants, real brief. And wants are items or things that are non-essential. Wants are non-essential. So we talked about in COVID-19 businesses that were non-essential, and they were all closed, and only the essential ones are open. So wants, non-essential. Excuse my handwriting; it's terrible, but I just want to add this to the point. Wants, non-essential. Those non-essential things are things that are extra, things that are in addition to the needs that you have. Uh, So I like landscaping, for example. It's outdoorsy. So if I'm a landscaper or a mechanic, something where I work, I do a lot of physical activity, I work with my hands of that nature. The basic watch I may need as an essential is something very simple, maybe $10, $20 watch, something that if it gets broken or if a band breaks or I lose it or it gets damaged, it's not a big loss. I shouldn't be wearing a Rolex or a high dollar watch that's $1,000 or more on my wrist while I'm doing these functions. Should I not own one possibly as a landscaper or a mechanic? The answer is no. I probably should if all my needs are met. But to use it as an everyday tool, as an essential tool, that's probably not a smart decision. That's taking a want and forcing it into your need category. And a lot of times that causes a lot of challenges. So back to needs, excuse me, back to wants as not essential. Um, Evaluating all those things that you want and in addition to what you need. So if all your needs are covered, the wants should be extra above and extra. They should be on top of those things. They should be things that are in addition to. So if I have a watch that's $10 or $20, and maybe I have a $500 watch that I wear when I go out to special occasions, or I have a $300 pair of shoes that I wear when I go out to a special occasion or wear a suit, or my daily vehicle for doing my job outside is an old beat up pickup truck or old car based on what I do, but maybe have a newer car, something more updated that I take out on the weekend or I drive at different times that are in addition to my needs being met based off providing the lifestyle for my family. So let's evaluate that. A lot of times what we've done, especially my generation of parents, we've done a poor job of establishing wants and needs for our children. Our kids get everything they want. They they don't want for anything. But my generation, most of us, we were working in our early teens, 12, 13, 14, 15. Most of us were working and we had jobs. We worked up until today. And so we understand what it is like to work. And we have a better understanding of a want versus need. But the younger generation, based off our fault, they don't. Everything's a need to them. Everything is a need to them. All their wants are needs because they have never needed anything. They've always wanted everything. We provided all their needs as parents. Even to their adulthood, we provided their needs. And so everything else they want is a want. And they are misconstrued or have a bad understanding of wants and needs, and they're confused on that. They think, yeah, what I need is what I want. What I want is what I need. So we can't undo what we've already done. So at this point, what we can do is going forward is try to implement some adjustments to help them with their children and help them in the latter part of their life, trying to divide which is which, how to establish what a want is, how to establish what a need is, and establish some guidelines. Your wants. Set up your want as a reward for something. Set up your basic needs and put them in order and set a goal. So if you meet these needs in those three essential categories, then make a want that you set up that you can reward yourself with if you're successful. That's fair. That way you respect that want more, you have more appreciation for it, you feel you've earned it. There's a whole different view of that want because you earned it. You did something. You set a goal and you rewarded yourself with that want, as opposed to you were out and said, man, I need a ride lawnmower. That's nice. I like the way that looks. You go buy it and it sits in the shed or in your garage for 3 or 4 months and you never touch it. That was just an impulse buy. It's a want. You really didn't need that. So in our day-to-day events, especially with the times that we have now, let's try to make sure we live within our means, which is rate where our needs are in the essential category, with a slight overstep into the want area. Our economy is unstable. Our lives are unstable at this point. So it's important that we manage what we can. The things that we can control, the things that we should focus on. We can control what we want. We can control what we need. So let's create lifestyles or a financial circle around us based off of what we actually need with a slight elevation of what we want on top of that, and not go overboard and create all this extra debt, all this financial stress for us based off what we want because we want it. I feel I've worked hard, I've done this or that, I've struggled, I want that. Well, do you really need it? Probably not. So being that it's unstable, being that if the needs or the essential things aren't stable as your foundation, your life will be challenging. Your life can turn out to be very unsuccessful. So let's build a solid foundation with those essential needs. And then let's put a slight cushion on top of that with those non-essential things, the things that we want as rewards, and the things that help us enjoy what we've worked so hard to get to. Talked a lot today. Appreciate you guys. Please hit subscribe, hit the like button as well. Tell your family, friends, and relatives. Leave some comments below. Other things that you want to hear, some words of talk about. I'll be glad to approach those. But appreciate you guys. Until we meet again, always remember, gain and seek understanding. Peace.